Morning guys and gals, Froggy here. What I'm going to show you today is how to touch up paint on your car. This is a Lexus. It's an IS300 2004. It's got a lot of road rash. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera. Yeah, I think that big one will, right there where my little finger's pointing. It's got a lot of right there. Got a lot of spots. So what I've got is some Lexus / Toyota touch-up paint. This is going to be not a really high-level touch-up. They have some multi-step process where you do about 5 or 6 different things, and if I had a Ferrari or Lamborghini I might use that system, but this is going to be just a quick touch-up so that it gets rid of those little specks that you can't stand. What you need to do is I suggest go to a dealer and get the touch-up paint that matches your VIN number. That takes all the guesswork out of it. There are also some touch-up paint companies online you can go to, and they probably do a pretty good match, but it's really convenient to get it at the dealer, and it's fresh stock, and your choice. Okay, your choice. I've always used a dealer paint. Now this is a touch-up paint device that has both a brush and it's like a ballpoint pen. Let me show you. The comes set up with the ballpoint pen there, but you have to open this up and you have to take out and there's an insert, and in this case it's an orange colored insert. I'm going to try and do as much as I can one-handed here. There's the brush right there. That's for bigger areas. I put that down there. Now if you want the paint to flow to the ballpoint part, you have to take this orange piece off, and I'll need 2 hands to do that. And by taking the orange piece out, you're going to let the paint that's in the bottle flow to the ballpoint tip. Most of what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ballpoint tip. There's a couple of big spots in the front that I'll try the brush on. So take out that orange insert, put this back together. Let's see if I can screw it down there one-handed. Yeah. And now I'm going to take it upside down. There, you can see the paint. You can see the paint flowing right there. And what you need to do before you start dabbing up the paint is get some paint thinner. I tried some acetone, and the acetone was too aggressive. I actually rubbed it on one of the little spots. Let me show you. There were a couple of spots here. There's one, and there was one up here. And I rubbed the acetone on there, and it actually started melting the paint, and it covered up the first spot, that first spot up there, which is kind of cool, but really acetone is too aggressive. It dissolves too quickly. So I switched to paint thinner. You could use lacquer thinner. They're very similar. And you just want to wipe it with a little paint thinner to clean it and to get a grippy surface for where you're going to touch up. So let me do that. Okay, I've just got a paper towel. You can use a rag also, and I'm just 2 quick dabs on that spot there. And I'm going to put that down. I'm going to get my ballpoint pen right here, and you want to make very small flow it on there very easily.
And dippity-do. Not many other hair products do we? It's true, Tina. Hello.
Sometimes the end will dry up. I think it might have dried up on this, so I'm going to dab it in the paint thinner to get it flowing again. Okay, now it's working. You have to actually press down. It's not really like a ballpoint pen where it's a roller ball. I'm pressing down, and it's spring-loaded on the end. Now you can see I covered up that chip that was right there. That's from somebody opening the door into a vehicle or a shopping cart or something that was next to the car. And a couple more spots down here. What I'm doing is I'm starting on an area that doesn't show up that much, and the last area that I'm going to do is the hood, because the hood is the part that shows up the most. And there's one more spot right there, and I think you can see it on the camera.
Nope. How about the car loan, which she used to get her four-wheel drive? Still no. The real reason is that, quite frankly, Maria is very shy, and she just got word that her mission-fed home loan is approved, and she needed someplace with nobody around where she could appropriately react to the news.
There, I've got it covered. So I'm not going to show you every single spot that I do, but I just wanted to show you the two ends of the paint touch-up system that I've got. I wanted to explain to you how to clean the area that you're going to touch up first with the paint thinner, and then just applying it by pressing down on the ball. And the brush, when you use the brush, you want to take the excess off there. You don't want a great big dripping blob of paint on the end of the brush. You want to apply it lightly. Now I will show you that in a few moments. So that's the use of the pen. Now I'm going to go find another section of the car. This paint is going to dry very fast, so you don't really have to worry about it. Just try to find all the little spots and touch them up. What I'm finding is I go around the car, and I'm not going to be able to really show it to you, but you'll find some bigger spots and some littler spots, and then bigger and then littler. So what I do is, when I come to a big spot, I'll just unscrew the cap and use the brush on the big spot, and then when I move around to a littler spot, I put the brush back in and I use the ballpoint tip. So just alternating between those two, the brush for the bigger spots and the ballpoint tip for the little tiny spots. Just be patient, take your time, get yourself a soda or a beer, and put some music on and work your way around the car. Okay, I had to move the car so I can reach the other side, and I did everything from the front driver door, back driver door, and the bump strip there had a couple of really, it's like a plastic bump strip under the paint, and so it shows up very white. It's a white plastic under the paint, so that came out really nice. You can't see it. It was right there, and it looks nice now. I didn't wash the car beforehand because I didn't want to have any wet spots. This is not water-based paint, so I didn't want any wet spots that would interfere with the adhesion of the paint. I'm going to go around the other side and do the passenger side, both of the doors, and working my way towards the hood area, which is the big job. Here's a big one on this. This is the passenger side rear door. So I'll give you a before and after. There's the before. And here's the after. The spot that I did was right there. Now when you use, and I use the brush, when you use the brush, you're probably going to get a little more paint on than what you want. Now what you could do afterwards, after this dries a few days, is go back and use some really light sandpaper to get the excess paint off. There's a technique called wet sanding where you actually use water and a very fine grit of sandpaper. I'm not going to get into that for this car because it's a lot of work, and like I said, if it was a Porsche or Ferrari, then I'd probably go for it. But this is just a nice Lexus, and we're just touching up the big spots from 5 feet away. It's going to look like a terrific brand new paint job. Okay, now I'm on the front, and what I'm using here is a flashlight, a bright flashlight, and my thumbnail. And sometimes these marks will be chips, and sometimes there'll be a piece of contamination on the surface. So what you want to do is rub your thumbnail over each one of these little things, and if it rubs off, then it's not a chip. If your nail catches in the hole, then it's a chip. Take your cleaner, clean it off quickly, and then hit it with the brush or with the paint end, whichever one is appropriate, depending on the size of it. Okay? When you're working the hood, start up high and then work down low, obviously, so you don't have to drag your hand and your arm over the stuff that you've already touched up. So touch up high and then bring it down like that. What I'm finding with the pen tip is just don't try to write with it, but dab with it. Just like press it down in little multiple presses, and the paint will flow out, and you'll fill the spots better than trying to like draw a line with it. I'm going to see if I can give you a little shot of just how easy it is. I'm using the pen tip, and I've got a bunch of little white spots here. I hope you can see. And I'm just hitting them. Dot, 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 dot. There's nothing that's hard about this. Yeah, that one looked like it was just a piece of dirt. Here's about 5 or 6 dots. Just punch, little light punch there, just enough to make it disappear.
With certified butchers in every store, get customized hand-cut meat, seasoned just the way you like. Jazz up your salads with fresh seasonal California-grown produce.
Now here's
all with friendly customer service.
let's see if I can show you this one. There. Okay, there's a long scratch there. Let me see if I can show you filling that in. There. Just little dots. Just hitting it with little dots. Now, it'll look a little lumpy at first, but number one, that's better than what it looked like before, which was white, sandblasted look. And the paint will flatten out a little bit, and then if you go over this and wax it a few times with something that has a polishing compound in there, that'll take it down a little bit too, especially if you use a machine. I use a dual action or random dual action orbital polisher. It will wear the high spots down on your touch-ups. Now you look at that from the other side, it's pretty much invisible. A lot of it depends on the angle you look at it from. I'm pretty happy with this touch-up. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for the touch-up on the 2004 Black IS300. So what did we learn? We learned don't use acetone to clean up the scratch spots because it's too strong. Probably lacquer thinner would be your best thing. I used paint thinner, and that was pretty good. I think lacquer thinner evaporates a little quicker than paint thinner. What else did we learn? Use a little dabbing, dotting strokes of the top of the applicator that looks like a ballpoint pen for the little spots, and then use the brush for the big spots, and you can alternate them as you go around the car. The car looks much better. It's not perfect. Perfect would be to take the panels off and bring them to a paint shop and spray paint them. This car has never been touched up before, so it's about 8 years old, so that's 8 years of freeway grit hitting the front of the car. So if you do this every year, you won't have that much work to do. It took me about an hour going slow, being careful, and it may take you more or less depending on the condition of the paint. So if this helps you out at all, give me a thumbs up. You want more from Froggy? Subscribe to my channel. It's free. Froggy out. Bye-bye.